Hello, cardology students and aficionados, and curious, and maybe you don't know anything about them. Cardology is the study of our playing cards and how it's an ancient divinatory system. Every day in the year is the card in the deck. Sorry I'm talking like this. I'm just thinking, maybe somebody's tuning in that's never heard of this before. So, wow, this is turning into a send this video to your friends to introduce them to cardology. So, yes, this is an ancient divinatory system, and we don't know actually where it comes from. We have some clues. Every culture basically wants to claim ownership of the card system, and I think it's really, really, really beyond ancient because it perfectly describes the one thing on this planet that is very consistent and unique to this planet, and it is the flow of time. How many revolutions around the sun, how many moons during that revolution. Um, it's a perfect parallel. So 2 suits is day and night. Um, 13 cards in every hand is, or every suit is 4 suits, 4 seasons, 13 cards, 13 moons, 52 cards, 52 weeks in the year. Hello, Tanisha. Yeah, you caught it live again. um, what else can I say about the card system? Every day of the year is a card in the deck. And yes, it's been shaped to the Gregorian calendar, but I have a theory that it used to be shaped to a whole bunch of other calendars. So there are some unanswered technical questions, but what I can tell you for sure is that it's an incredibly crazy accurate system, and it's both descriptive and predictive. So you have an entire hand that you're dealt. I do have it handy. Okay, there's this big chart, and you can find people who study the card system can tell you all about your hand, and it's just like an astrological thing. So we'll take Tanisha for an example. Her birthday is 8/4. The year doesn't matter. 8/4 is the 9 of diamonds. So yes, everyone born on 8/4 is the 9 of diamonds. So we look at her card right here, and the first thing we notice is that it's an intersection of Uranus and Mars. So you do a study of those two. The uniqueness of how a task is accomplished might be one way you'd phrase that. It's a good method of study for cardology for those of you who are into this is make a list of all the things that Mars is, just random phrases, words, qualities. And it also rules, sex, career, passion, anger, stuff like that. And take a list of Uranus things, community, the Christ consciousness, awakening, humanitarian stuff, real estate. I mean, Uranus is the miscellaneous category. It rules real estate, the unexpected, the unplanned, the unusual, and then put those together. And that's all the various statements you could make about the path of the 9 of diamonds. And that's what Tanisha is here to embody and experience as the 9 of diamonds. So it's descriptive, and it will describe her. 9s tend to disappear, like in numerology. They tend to be caretakers, they're peacemakers, they show up, they just want it to feel better, they don't want to sacrifice their peace and equilibrium. That's a 9. They also have tremendous insight and access to infinite storehouse of knowledge and that kind of things. And diamonds represent the adult phase of life, the serious money making, generating, the values. When the person who says, what's the most important thing? That's the language of a diamond. What's the priority? What do I value? What am I willing to spend time and money and resources on? That's value. And diamonds are just kind of fixated on that. Right. So Tanisha's like, oh my God, you're describing me. You're just tapping into my essence. Well, it's your personality. Your essence is infinite and complete, but the personality is, the core essence of the personality. Yes. And then she has this whole hand. So she has a Jack of Clubs in her moon position, which gives her a tremendous, great, wonderful, detached, hilarious sense of humor. It also gives her an impulsive kind of immaturity sometimes. I just love Jacks because they lighten it up. They lighten it up, man. And she has her first 3 cards are very serious, heavy duty, challenging shit. So I call these three cards between the Jack and the King of Clubs the Slough of Despair, the Swamp of Inadequacy. So she has to go through this Nine of Diamonds, a lack or a sense of poverty in the self, the Seven of Spades. Nothing ever works out for me. There's an obstacle in my path. This can be injury, illness, negativity. Um, so it becomes faith. Nine becomes unconditional value. And the Two of Clubs can be the negative self-talk, the complaining, the arguing, the just being really mean to yourself internally, but that can be transformed into conscious self-awareness and conversation. And then you reach mastery, this Jack or this King of Clubs, which is, I know my own mind. I know my own truth, my own experience. I have reached a level of mastery within the self. So her cards would be Moon, Sun, Mercury, Venus, Mars. So that would be expressed in career and with men and in all the Mars related things. Jupiter, Saturn, Uranus, Neptune, Pluto. So the Pluto card is the Eight of Hearts. You can go on my website, itiskismet.com. There's a link below, and you can look up your Pluto card and listen to a free 4-minute or so recording talking about, yes, I did 52 of these. What is your Pluto card? How is that your death and rebirth experience? How is that going to tell you about the ultimate crisis in your life that you feel like it's going to kill you? But then you get reborn, and there's an ego death. And yes, it happens over and over. So for the Nine of Diamonds, it will come through an Eight of Hearts experience, which is, eight is emotion, is power, and hearts are emotion, so it's emotional power. I call it the Grow Some Balls card. Find your power and speak it. How do you find the soulmate through the cards? Very good question. What can the cards tell me about the nature of this relationship? That's a better question. Can't tell you yes or no, is this my soulmate? That's just something you know. Being a Seven of Diamonds, I've had a shit ton of relationships in my life. And what I can tell you is that each bond is special. And it offers you a loving opportunity to grow. And an overdependence on the concept of soulmate means there's one special person for me and I'm incomplete without them. And that's just not true. Even if you found your soulmate, you would be complete without them. Is your life fuller and maybe more strategically expressed because of the presence of that person? If you need them, they'll be in your life. If you don't, they won't. You're in a relationship with an Eight of Diamonds. Oh, that's so tricky. What was I going to do in this video? I was going to mention, okay, before I answer that question, and I will, and I'm going to keep this brief for those of you who are interested in the cards in this whole introductory video, giving you a little taste of it. Yes, you can contact me for a reading. Go to the website and then text me. I don't do email. Sorry. I mean, I kind of sometimes do, but that's why my email isn't on the website. So you can go to the website. You can find me through, especially through Cosmic Connections, or even I would like a cardology reading. And then you just text my phone and you go, hey, I want a reading. Be clear about what kind of reading you want. A Cosmic Connection reading. And that's where that's $35. And I keep promising I'm going to raise prices eventually, but like I would take the Nine of Diamonds and the Eight of Diamonds, and I would look at the cosmic connections between these if I were going to do Tanisha a reading. So yeah, thank you for giving me the opportunity to say that, Tanisha. I hope it didn't feel like preaching. As a diamond, that's one of my things. I preach. Do you preach as a diamond? You can get into sermonizing because should is your word. Here's what you should do. Okay, and don't should on yourself. We do that all the time as diamonds, right? So you just are what you are. So what I would do is I would look at how these two cards are connected. So the first thing I would do is, okay, he's one card outside of your 13 card hand. So I would say that there's not There aren't many present life connections. I do present and past. So because you are a Leo, you don't have a planetary ruler. You don't have another card in your hand, but we could say the Queen of Diamonds. Okay, okay, so with no present life connections, this does happen because there's only like 4 to 6 possible. It means that you might not know whatever you were doing in a past life, you're not doing it this time. This is like a fresh, hey, I don't remember you, but you do. Okay, so now if we look for the past life connections, we go over to see, yep, there are 2 spreads. One is in order. See how all the cards are in order? And see how the 8 and 9 are right next to each other. That means they have a moon Mercury connection. You are my moon, you are my Mercury, or vice versa. Moon Mercury is about feeling known. I am known emotionally. I am known mentally. I feel safe and understood. It can also be really enmeshed. I have a hard time discerning the difference between your feelings and my feelings. Good morning. How am I going to feel today? It's what the codependent asks their partner. We're all codependent, but that's enmeshment. However, your feeling determines how I'm feeling. So that's a little tricky. But it's also a very, very strong foundation to handle a lot of potential lessons. So that's an example of some of the information that would come through a cosmic connection. I send it to your email. I psychically tune in. I tell you about, I'm getting this about past life stuff. Here's what the planets tell you. These are the energy of these planets. And then I would actually send you a couple of reports that are pre-written. I from my computer where I have them all, but like say you have a Jupiter-Mars connection, then I write up how those 2 planets dance together. So let's look at another past life connection here. So the way we would do this is, okay, here's the strongest one. It's through the Queen of Spades. So the 8 of Diamonds, what sits under her? The Queen of Spades. Does the Queen of Spades, is she close to your card? Yes. You are the Venus card, Mercury, Venus. When it's 2 cards, so I would say, oh, awesome. How fun. Well, I look forward to getting a text from you, Tanisha. So you have a past life Venus connection, which means there's a natural familiarity. I'm friends with this person. Friendship. I would say when other shit happens to you, there remains a friendship. It is, I want your happiness. I have a sense of goodwill. I believe this person really likes me, supports me. Even, no matter what else is going on, that Venus connection is like, we're friends. So yeah, that's all I'm going to say about the cosmic connection. Or you can get a full-on reading. So that's 120 an hour. I have a sliding scale. And we just figure that out together. And you can go for 15 minutes, half hour, 32 minutes if you want. You can just go as long as you want. And I tune into your guides and I look at your... So, Tanisha, how old are you? You grew up next door to each other. Is that hilarious or what? You're next door. That's so precious. So yeah, you're going to feel like super familiar from this life and a past life. It's like I get that you just kind of do that. That's kind of a style of incarnating that you have. Let's just be friends our whole life. Okay, so I could technically figure out how old you are from the year that you put. You said 81. Okay, so 81, 40. You're going to be 41 this year. 40. Okay, so what I would do if I gave her a full-on reading is I would go to the 9 of Diamonds page. I would look up the 40th year, which is right here. And she has all these cards of influence. And we can dial down into this month, this 52-day period. So you know how the year is divided up into 52 7-day periods. 52 7-day periods. We also have 7 52-day periods, the reversal thing of multiplication. Remember that? So on your birthday, that begins your 52-day Mercury period. And then your next period is your Venus period. And you have 2 cards for each one of those periods. And that's where I wrote a book on how to really dial down into this. And you can order it off of Amazon. You can just type this in and go directly to Amazon, or I can mail you a copy. I seriously could just, you can just contact me and you send me $13 and I'll, or 14 for shipping, 15, whatever, and I'll send it to you. But it's called So You Got a Destiny Cards book. Now what? And this is a very handy little book because, like, if you just want to do a reading with your cards, this is your guide. I've written down what every single card means. So, oh, good. Yeah. And then there's just all this really fun information in here about the card system and basic things. And there you get at least the life. You get half of this chart. You don't get the natural spread. You get the mundane spread. But anyway, it teaches you how to take the 2 cards from that 7-day. Okay, so let's do this with Tanisha. You getting a free reading, girlfriend? Okay, so here is her 52. This is the Destiny Cards book, Robert Camp. It's a great handbook. And oh God, it's been loved to death. This thing's falling apart. I left my newer one in Portland with my daughter. So we look up August 4th and we see the breakdown. You're going to want to pause that and take a screenshot of it. Meaning Tanisha. And anybody born in August, take a screenshot of that because it breaks down, or you can just figure out 52 days plus 52 days. So we look at that and today is, I don't know, February something. Okay, so she's in her Jupiter period, which starts January 8th and it goes to March 1st. Jupiter period. So we go back to her spread and we look up the Jupiter period. Jupiter. So Mercury, Venus, Mars, Jupiter. It's the 4th period in, and she has 10 of diamonds, 10 of hearts. So then we look at those 2 cards of influence and we see how that, oh, you're welcome, Tanisha. This is really fun. Someone's calling me. Oh, it's my friend Michelle. I'll get back to her. So let's just take the 10 of diamonds. Okay, 10 of diamonds in Jupiter. And this book will give you a reference. It'll explain, here's what 10 of diamonds in Jupiter is. But 52 days is a really long time. And it's not like you're going to just be making buttloads of money every day. Okay, that's what it means, is a lot of money. That's one of the meanings of the 10 of diamonds, especially in Jupiter. Okay, if it comes in Saturn, it means it's going to be burdensome. If it comes during your Neptune period, it means you're going to be dreaming about it. If it comes during Mercury, you're going to be thinking about it. So this card is the intersection of Jupiter and Jupiter during a Jupiter period. So I would look at all of your Jupiter aspects, including the Jupiter card in your hand. Mercury, Venus, Mars, Jupiter is the Jack of Diamonds. So do you own your own business? Are you feeling creative? How do you need to think about your own enterprise in the world? 10 of Diamonds is a very expansive card. Yeah, it's a lot of something. 10 of Diamonds is the principle of abundance, infinite abundance. And the expansion can be exhausting, especially because you have another 10 during this period. You also have the 10 of Hearts, which sits right next to the 10 of Diamonds, which means you get the Jupiter line hand this whole month. And that's what my book zeroes in on, is that you can look at your Mercury experience. What are you going to be thinking about? Or what's your mindset or your communication style? Could be very bombastic, controlling, authoritative, confident during this period. Your Venus, your relationships, Ace of Hearts, tender, sensitive, inner child, selfish, pouty. Are your relationships like that? That's so you can go all the way through. You don't own your own business. Well, then, yeah. Well, so then it's not about your business. Okay, so you take every card in this hand, Mercury, Venus, Mars. Mars, your relationships with men or career will be typified by a new enterprise, something new, something different. Okay, and when you just look at the, she gets most of the Jupiter line here as an influence, dropping down a little bit into Uranus. So the Jupiter line is about how am I gonna make it bigger? So that's one way to really zero in and give yourself a more specific reading with Robert Camp's Destiny cards. So then if I gave her a reading, I would go through some of that, but then I would also there's so much information available. For example, she also has five you also always have 5 cards in the 1-year spread. We're going back to Robert Camp's chart here. There are 5 cards right here that are all year influences. They're influences that answer the question, what is this year about? So we have a long range card, which is like the big roadside that says, you're going to New York this year. And her long range card is the Jack of Hearts. It's the Christ card. So it's all about what is my mission? How can I learn to love better? How is loving children involved in this? Loving my own inner child? Have I felt like a martyr in my life? Have I been? How do I sacrifice myself to expand my ability to love, both good and positive and negative? These are all the questions that you're going to be answering this year because of that big long range card. Okay, you also have a Pluto and a result card, meaning here's the death and rebirth experience and the result. So she's got Ace of Clubs in Pluto, result 6 of Clubs. So Ace of Clubs is, whoa, I have to learn something totally new and answer the question, oh, you have big time baby fever? That's great. Yeah, well, definitely that child card. Okay. Ace of Clubs is know thyself. And the result is 6 of Clubs, purpose, contract. Through getting to know who you are, you're going to come into a greater understanding of why you're here. And that fits in with this whole download I've been getting is that your design determines why you're here. It answers the question, why am I here? What am I doing? So self-knowledge. It's okay for it to be all about you this year. It will feel like that at times. This is a huge opportunity. And just tell your partner, hey, babe, I've got a lot that I'm working on. And sometimes I'm going to be messy and projected on you, but it's about me. I need to do some work. And then she also has 2 more cards, the environment and displacement. And without going into how those are derived or what they are, they operate like the South Node and the North Node in astrology. The South Node being this is what's familiar. So 5 of Clubs. How is curiosity familiar? The need to expand in your understanding, do research. You've been studying human design. That's part of the curiosity. 8 of Hearts would be like the North Node, the unfamiliar, the new, and that's your Pluto card, the 8 of Hearts. So this year is going to be about really owning your empowerment through going through the tests of a lot of internal sensitivity to stuff. That's why you've dialed me in, is because this is my whole MO. So now I'm going to talk about my manifesting course. It's donation only, and it starts this coming Sunday. I used to have a calendar hanging there, so I always look at that. So February 13th, and it's going to be through Zoom, and I'll send you a link. And it's 5 Sundays in a row for about an hour-ish. Zoom says 40 minutes, but they always let you go longer. And if we need to restart another class, I'll just do that. I might change the format and do it through Facebook, because I have a business page now on Facebook called Wings of Divine Purpose. I think that's what I called it. See if you can find it. Anyway, I posted the event on my regular page, which is just my name, Paula Kruger. and it's called Manifesting with Love. So we're going to look at whatever it is in your life that's been difficult for you to manifest that you really, really want. And we're going to look at the anatomy of why that particular area and how can I infuse that area of my life with love, get it healed so that I can attract. Oh, thank you, Tanisha. I agree. Isn't it so cool? This does happen occasionally where somebody will just tune in and they end up getting a free reading from me. So yeah, it's a good reason to have an alert when I go live or whatever that's called. Um, what else? Yeah, so if you are interested in taking that class, here's the how. And I have to go back through my videos and look for these comments. But if you're interested, how do you sign up? First, go to that event page on Facebook and click interested. If you don't want to do Facebook, just tell me here and we can make contact somehow. Gosh, I don't want to give out my phone number, but we'll figure it out. If you're interested, then we can figure it out. Oh, I'm sorry. This is part of my whole. Yes, I can. I can figure this out. Anyone have any suggestions about how to make contact? Okay, you don't have Facebook. I was just thinking so for people who don't have Facebook. And I totally respect that. Okay, then okay, send me an email. This is my email. I'll put it in the comments. Illuminate me today at gmail.com. And we can get in touch that way. Awesome. I'll give you my phone number and we'll just text. I'll give that to you through email. Oh, fun. Okay, so that's how we'll do it via YouTube. That's all for today. Have a wonderful, wonderful day today. And please do contact me for a reading. You can email me, but it's preferable to go to my website. It is kismet.com. There's a link below, and then that will give you my number. Text me. Okay, yeah, you can do it that way too. Thanks, Tanisha. Thank you so much for being a guinea pig for the reading. Okay, bye.